Analysis up front to say, what do they need that they don't have? And then as we're building that collection, we keep up with numbers for each collection category, how many books we're ordering, how many have come in, been cataloged and processed. If anything cancels, do we need to reorder something in that area? So we're watching the shape develop as we come up to that time when we ship the books and they go onto the shelf. Now, after the books are there, then the best measure is circulation. Are they flying off the shelves or are they sitting there?
Right. So then how does a library, once they have the collection, how is that collection then managed between brodart and the library? I'm trying to think like an opening day collection. It's like, so does brodart ship the collection and then there it is, it's done, and there's no more talk about it, or is there a conversation that continues?
Oh, there certainly can be a conversation that continues. Some libraries opt to save a portion of their opening day money for after opening so that they can see. They might have their idea of what's going to circulate most or where they need their multiple copies. After they've been open a few weeks or a few months, they may have a slightly different version and say, oh boy, we didn't buy enough easy readers. Can you ship us some more copies of these series? Or this is an area where we just don't have enough. We realize that maybe language learning, there were a couple of languages we missed. Can you fill in those gaps for us? So we can certainly continue the dialogue after that initial shipment.
Okay. So what is the benefit to a library of using brodart for this as opposed to using their own staff?
Okay. Well, I think it is certainly a time saver. If you had all the time in the world to study every title that you might want to buy and make a decision, then maybe you don't need a vendor's help. But in my experience, that doesn't happen very often. Most staff members are really pressed for time on normal business, and then when you put a big opening day project on top of that workload, it can be pretty hard to manage. So what I think we can do is, like I said, we have this giant database. We have all of these access points to it. Let us identify what's available. Let us tell you what's recommended or popular. You make the decisions of what to buy, or in some cases libraries will ask us to make the first pass at that decision. We'll say, we call that vendor selection. We prepare a list and we say, if we were buying for this library, here's what we would put in, and then the library can look at that and say yes, no, adjust some quantities. So really, the library controls it. They tell us how much assistance they would like, and then we provide that level of service.
So obviously you have collection development staff.
Yes.
Working at brodart.
Yes.
What do you require to become a collection development person for brodart?
Okay. We have, I'd have to count them now, I think we have 9 ALA accredited degreed librarians, all of whom have experience in public libraries. We have a couple that have also worked in school libraries, that they have had dual experience levels. It's a really strong core of people. A couple of them have retired from their library jobs but didn't want to stop selecting, so this is a perfect fit for them. We do have a paraprofessional level where we have people that have come up through the company. We have someone now who started out annotating children's books and got a lot of exposure to children's publishers and authors, and so she has developed that expertise. Someone else was one of our catalogers, so she'd seen so many books and got intrigued by how did they get to the point of cataloging. So the majority of the collection development staff are professional librarians, but we do have some paraprofessionals that are skilled. Oh, we also have a woman who was the head of our acquisitions department for many years, and she moved from acquisitions into collection development. So she manages what we call our collection development plans.
Okay. Is there anything else you'd like to say about collection development in terms of what you think people should know to it coming into the field?
I'm sorry, coming as entry level into the field. Oh. Anything
else you'd like to say about that?
Well, I think it's the most fascinating thing you can do in a library is select.
Of course,
the books.
You're not biased at all.
No. Well, I intended to be a cataloger though. When I went to library school, I specialized in technical services. Thought I would do cataloging for an academic library, but was not able to find a job there, and I started working in a public library in public service. Loved the collection I was dealing with and got intrigued by the selection side of it. So within a few years I had decided that what I wanted to do was collection development. So I had some reference experience, some cataloging experience, but I really loved the selection side. And not just selection, weeding. Give me a library in need of weeding and I'm happy as a clam.
So does brodart offer a weeding service?
Not directly. Sometimes we miss that. But here's something that we have done. People have sent us their holdings files. We've run that against citations and sales information, and then given them a list of what we would consider potential weeds. Like, we would eliminate brand new titles, obviously.
Well, right.
But if there's anything they own that hasn't been selling, that isn't, in a bibliography or award or well reviewed, then those are some candidates for weeding along with what's not circing.
No, interesting.
Now, so far no one has sent us their CERC files because libraries can generally do that themselves from a dusty book report. But yeah, a few times, particularly with those opening day collections where they're moving to a larger facility but they don't want to move their junk.
Right.
So that would be their first step, is to do that deselection. And we can help.
Wow. Now, we always end every interview that we've been doing with the question, is the print medium, is it a dying medium?
I hope not. I don't think so. I mean, maybe at some point, a few generations down the road, but I don't think it's in imminent danger at all. Print reference, yes, that's a dying medium. But pleasure reading, children's picture books, large print for seniors, I think that's going to be around for quite some time. The paperback you can take on the plane. Yes, there will be more and more digital media. Yes, more ebooks, but I don't see books going away. Now, if selection lists are any indication, we still have libraries that require their selection lists in print. We love it when they get them online through our website, but we still have a number of libraries that get, paper copy selection lists and will not give those up. So if they won't give those up, I'm not sure their clients will give up, the print equivalent.
Well, and actually, you just reminded me of something else. What do you see are the current trends in collection development?
Well, I think, right now, what you hear in any group of collection development folk is, how are we coping in this, in this economy? And the multiple formats, while it's wonderful and exciting, that provides a big challenge to collection development people to decide how many can I afford if I have a title, how many formats, can I provide it in. There probably is a trend, a decline in nonfiction, which saddens me because adult nonfiction was always my selection specialty. So I think that's probably going to shrink, but not at the rate that reference, has practically disappeared in print. Other trends, teen and YA is really booming, And so I think that's another indication that even though they're certainly tech savvy